All right, and we are live. All right, this is another episode of the Intellectual Soapbox. This is, I believe, this is episode number 4, number 5. I want to make sure right before we start, we make sure you hit the link, like, share, and subscribe. Make sure if you can't make it, you catch it on the replay. Make sure you leave a comment. We appreciate anybody and everybody who's been rocking and supporting and who's going to be in the future with us. And also, hit the Cash App. Any donation helps of all sorts and sizes to keep giving you content and help support the platform. We deeply appreciate it, no matter what. Intellectual Soapbox, aka Mr. Best in the World, 84, and also shout out to Knowledge and Relationships. With that being said, we're going to make sure we cover NBA, NFL, MLB, boxing, MMA, the works. So, and we also have people coming up on the panel soon. But before that, I just want to give out appreciation again. I know Veterans Day is coming soon. I know Halloween just passed. We're in the month of November. We know that's holiday season, Oh, the weather's so nice and the weather, blah, blah, blah. But it's holiday season. So you got to make sure that we appreciate everyone again who's been coming through and rocking out with us no matter what. And on that note, let me make sure I put the banner up because we're going to be entering NFL and making sure we also cover college football. So, yes, I am a USC fan. Go Trojans. Making sure you all understand. Tommy Trojan, I ain't just talking about the condom, son. I'm talking about football. So, I know out there that Bama lost again. Lost by 1 point to LSU. That can't happen, but that did happen. And also, I want to make sure I give a shout out because I seen Knowledge and Relationships in the building. Make sure y'all want good, great content, great conversations, discussions, debates. Knowledgeable about not just relationships but other stuff as well. We have vast majority of interviews, people from all walks of life. And we have everything from a Monday show all the way through the week to Friday to Saturday. They have a gaming channel on the side. They have M3 TV Network. He does things like game streaming. He also does his own individual platform as well. And he connects through Twitch, through YouTube, and also other social media platforms as well. And I want to make sure there's a link as well attached in the front. We also got on the Twitch side as well again. We also want to make sure we have Wally. So shout out to Wally. Thank you for being here. Make sure you hit the link, like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment, Wally. Help out with their algorithm. Wealth Talk Productions. I appreciate you. Once again, thank you as much. And hey, Wally, make sure if you want to hit the link, man, it's right there. I think I also checked your messaging as well. But so there's been upsets on NCAA football. Hold on, wait a second. We got the CEO of Jergens and Johnson & Johnson himself. The man with the plan. Wally from Well Talk Productions.
Hey, look here, right?
Oh man.
General J&J.
Oh man.
Don't you dare.
What's up, Super Soldier?
Right.
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on, bro? Man, the game week, boy. The games were close this week. I'll say that. The games were close, man.
Yeah. There's a couple upsets, right? In NCAA football. And if you seen Tom Brady, he had a game-winning drive today. So the guy still got it. And the Buccaneers, man, I'm going to transition real quick to NFL, but we'll get back to the college football. But real quick, that record that they have, they should be about 8-2 with that record they have. They should be about 7-2 or 8-1 with the record they have. But unfortunately, they have a below 500 record. They got to go on a win streak so they can make it to the playoffs, And they got to win at least the next 7-8 games.
Right. I think mainly the main issue is just that fact that I think a lot of people just injured. So, when it started off. So I think he just had a bad start.
I think, and the thing is too with their losses, they've lost by 2 to 3 points. So, and a
Right.
lot of their losses, right? The only one that was like uh, uh, a small little lead was, I think, the Chiefs, where they won by like 9 or 10 points.
Right.
Um, Other than that, they missed a field goal that game that would have cut it into 7, 6 point lead. And
Mm-hmm.
then the defense just, they couldn't stop them because, it's the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to put up what, on a decent day they can put up 30 points, maybe, 28 points.
Right. Right.
And that would be calling it kind of steady. But if they're really high rolling, they're going to drop over 40 points, 40 plus if they can. Um,
There you go.
and then the Jets are one of the teams that you would not expect to come out on the start that they have. And Sauce Gardner,
See,
he's
that
a
was a
savage
wild
corner.
one for me. That was a wild one. Huh?
And they beat the Bills, which is a Super Bowl
That was the
contender.
crazy part about it.
Yeah. And then you got, other teams that are lingering too that you wouldn't expect to have a great record. The Cowboys are actually a Super Bowl contending team this year. I'm not going to lie. I feel kind of good. I feel kind of happy for them because Dallas has been dying of a Super Bowl.
Now let's talk about the team with trouble. I'm sorry, but Aaron Rodgers, he should have left. I'm sorry, but it's a dumpster fire. It's a complete dumpster fire. I mean, you can definitely tell looking at the Cowboys and looking at then looking at the Packers. The coach wasn't the problem. The coach was never the problem. And at this point, he needs to get out of there. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do hear that they're trying to get Claypool from the Steelers, but I mean, if that changes everything, then shoot, by all means. But you need to get out of there. I'm sorry. You can't tell me after all these starts, even when it comes to the dang Lions, you lose. I was expecting you to lose. Sheesh. Crazy. Made me pissed. Oh my goodness. But I mean, look. And plus another one. The freaking Raiders again lose to a team they should have beat.
Hey, Wally, real quick, can you keep rocking it out? I just gotta take care of something real quick, but keep talking. People are listening.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna break down something here and there. All right, so yeah, salute KNR, salute M3. What it do, man? What it do? But yeah, man, the games were crazy, man. The games were crazy today, man. I mean, we still got a game that's pending. The Titans versus the Chiefs. They're coming in motion at 8:20, so that's in 2 minutes, you guys. 2 minutes. All right. Well, yeah, I guess StreamYard's acting up. You can't see it, man. 'Cause I have it up, so I don't know. Switch and let's see what it tells. Let's see if you see it. I don't know for sure. Tell me if you see this one. I don't know what's going on. 'Cause I know StreamYard be funny, so. But let me get into here real quick. Let me at least talk to you guys about the game. But that's not the game I wanted to talk about. Really? Okay, well, then I'm going to use this one for the time being then. Let me get some of these games out here. So let's start it off, right? So last week's Thursday night game was the Eagles against Texans. Of course, Eagles are riding a beautiful 8-0 victory right now, and they are literally riding a good wave. Let me see here. Let me see if I can get these. Yeah, let me get these scores. So Jalen Hurts, he has literally 21 to 27. That's literally only 6 missed passes for the yards of 243 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interception. Flawless work from Jalen Hurts. Of course, his M. Sanders got 17 carries for rushing, 93 yards, and 1 touchdown. That's not bad. And then also K. Gainwell, 4 carries with 1 touchdown. Not bad, right? That's the rushing. Also Hurts, I believe he also rushed. He had 9 carries in that game with 23 yards. And then B. Scott for 1 carry and 5 yards. After that, for receiving, we got I do not know how to properly say this brother's name. Um, Digo Edard, Digo Egner. Okay, 8 carries, 100 yards, 1 touchdown. That's great. A Brown, 4 carries. Oh, sorry, sorry, 4 reps, 59 yards, and 1 touchdown. So those are the 2 scorers. And then mostly everybody else, they got at least two, they got at least under 3 reps. And then they got under 30 yards. Some of the others got under 10, give or take.
All right, man. I'm back. Thank you for doing
All right,
that,
cool.
bro.
Yeah, no
Solid
problem.
job.
Yeah, I was talking about the Eagles versus the Texans.
Who won on that game? It was 29 to
Yeah,
17, right?
29-17, Eagles won that game versus the Texans. Yeah, I was explaining that Jalen Hurts, he did a very phenomenal game because he literally passed like a good pass. So he basically, so let me get this straight. Gosh, no.
Shout out to Nova Rain.
Yeah, shout out to Nova. Yeah, he did 21 out of 27, only missed 6 passes overall. He did 243 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Plus, he also, if I'm not mistaken, he also rushed for 9 carries and for 23 yards in total. So he did a phenomenal game. And
I want to give a quick shout out to Justin Drea. Man, shout out to her and Chef. They're doing the thing over there when they, be on their own channel, individual, and when they collab together. Yeah, she has a great perspective, great take. So shout out to you, Justin Drea. Continue, Wally.
Right. So over at the Texans, the quarterback is D Mills. I don't know his first name. He did 13 for 22. That, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is about 9 misses, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Didn't did too well on that. I mean, Rush didn't score jack, but I will say that D Pierce carried for 27 carries, 139 yards, but just didn't score no touchdown, which sort of sucks to put in on all that work. Rushing, that was by C. Moore with 4 reps, 43 yards, and 1 touchdown. And then the other guy, this one's a decent long name. I don't even know. I'm gonna just call him TQ. He did 1 rep, 2 yards, and 1 touchdown. So that's basically right there in the end zone.
Hold on, let me welcome in good brother of mine. Shout out to Baltimore. Truth and favor, truth and purpose nexus, TAPN. Y'all make sure you hit the link, like, share, subscribe to his channel. We gotta welcome him to the platform. How are you, Truth?
What's going on?
My shooter, what's up, little bro? And Wally,
What up, man?
How you guys feeling this evening?
Yeah, we good, man. I mean,
Can't complain, man. Blessed, bro. Blessed to be alive another day, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What'd you say, Wally?
I said, I mean, as far as the all day, it's all good. But these games, on the other hand, I can't say much.
Let me know what's going on.
Yeah, man. I mean, we were talking about last Thursday night game with the Eagles and the Texans. Eagles won that 29 to 17. So, that was a decent clean out game. Other than that, the other games were the Chargers and the Falcons. Chargers, they actually outbeat the Falcons 20 to 17. That was a close game, but it got done. Dolphins and Bears are one of the 2 teams that did a very high-end game, 35 to 32. Dolphins eat that out. And there was actually the Panthers and the Bengals. That was another high-end game. Bengals 42 to 21. That was literally like double points. They blow them out by like literally 21 points. Yeah, that's like 3 touchdowns. They blow them out by. Then, of course, Packers, Lions. That was a 15-9 game. Lions won that. Which
Aaron Rodgers threw like 3 or 4
sad.
interceptions that game.
Real? Oh, my.
Yeah, that was a bad game for him.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And then the Colts versus the Packers. Packers win 26 to 3. Bulls versus Jets, which honestly, this was a little bit crazy, but the Jets they won by 2017, but it was close. Vikings versus Commanders. Oh yeah, Vikings won that, but surprisingly enough, the Commanders they stayed tough. They made it a close game of 3 points only.
Let's go, Shorty. Let's go.
And then the
I
Raiders,
know.
man, I'm disappointed with the Raiders, man. They lost against the damn Jaguars. They lost to them 27 to 20.
Time out. Hold on. We got Alonzo Hall, the All-Star advisor. He
Salute to
said,
Alonzo.
salute. Guess what else, though? He's a Pats fan.
Man, look
Patriots
here.
Nation.
You can't talk about that. The Colts got no defense.
Hey, Alonzo Hall, if you want to hit the panel, man, the link is up in the top of the chat. And I don't know if maybe Mr. Best has your IG. He can send you the StreamYard link directly, too.
No, it's pinned at the top, bro. It's pinned at the top.
All right. Salute to Alonzo. But
Right.
continue, Wally.
Yeah, so Seahawks and Cardinals, another good game. That game was 31 to 21. Seahawks win that. One thing I'm gonna add on to that after. Rams versus the Buccaneers. They won 16 to 3. Salute to Tom on that one. I thought they were gonna lose to the Rams. And then of course, Titans and Chiefs, they're coming up. And then the Ravens versus the Saints, that'll come up in I think the Monday night's game. But just real quick, one special I want to throw out there. Salute to Geno Smith, man. When I heard that name, I did not thought it was the Geno Smith that played a long time ago. To find out that was the same Geno Smith that played like for a couple of teams beforehand, and then he was gone for like a long time, and then to be the quarterback of the Seahawks and do what he do, hey, that's what's up. I got to
Wait a minute. Let me welcome to the panel Alonzo Hall, the All-Star advisor. What's up, Pat fan?
What's going on, brother? All I gotta say is Patriots Nation. I'm sitting here watching the game right now. This is a good one, Tennessee and Kansas City, man. I don't know. See, me and my wife, we have it's like our religion, man. Football Sunday. So start Thursday. My wife tells me I gotta cut everything off at 8:30 because Thursday night football. And Sunday we watch Red Zone. So we watch every game for 7 hours straight. And then the night game, which just came on. Get you a woman who likes football, gentlemen. It makes life a lot easier. Make sure she likes your team, because my wife is a Giants fan, and we have to fight every year, especially in 2011.
Oh, man.
them Giants up, boy. You can't beat that.
Listen, man, them Giants paid for that shit, man. They didn't win with your confused ass Eli Manning. Only reason they let him win because of the Manning family name. That's all. Tom Brady should have 9 Super Bowls. Or at least 8 with the Patriots. I don't know about 9.
Keyword should, but you don't. Oh!
Actually, he should have more because then we also got robbed by the Eagles. They be cheating against the Pats, man.
Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here!
Listen,
Get out.
man,
To be fair, Alonzo, because I grew up liking watching the Pats too, and Brady and them. That Super Bowl though, I got to give it to the Eagles. They won that game fair and square. It was just about no team had no defense on each side. So especially that strip fumble sack at the end, that's what really killed that's a knife in the back right there.
That should have been interception. I'm sorry.
No, but I will give it to them though. They shouldn't have lost to the Giants in both those times they played them, especially that rematch. That rematch was theirs, but they blew it because Wes Welker couldn't catch the ball.
Those 2 Super Bowls were the reasons why I don't like the Pats now. I left, man. Look, I used to be a Patriots fan. I honestly was. But those were 2 reasons I left them bastards.
In 2007, I was like, all right, well, New England is solidified as my AFC team. Who do I want to like for my NFC team? I think I'll pick the Giants. And then they beat my Pats, and I've hated them ever since. So screw the Giants. Even though I ain't even gonna hold you, I've been rooting for them recently just because it's crazy to see them go. Oh my God, Mahomes is just running on these fools. I feel good for Saquon Barkley, man. He brought joy back to the sport. What the Giants need right now is they need a receiver. They need to tuck their tail between their legs and go re-sign Odell Beckham. He's not going
They
to work
need a
anymore.
receiver and a
hell
tight
no.
end.
Yeah.
That's what they need. They need both a receiver and a tight end. But real quick, Alonzo, I'm gonna let you keep going. Let me just give a quick shout out in the chat to Quantum Love, the metaphysician. It says peace to everyone. Shout out to you and peace to you, Quantum Love.
Hey, Quantum
Go
Love,
for
what's
it.
going on?
Salute to Quantum.
Yeah, man. Y'all, I don't know if y'all are watching the game right now, but this is the two top AFC teams with Tennessee and Kansas City. 0-0, 10 minutes in the first 10 minutes left in the first quarter. Well, 9:50 now left in the first quarter. So they're right now battling defensively. There was just a interception, but it got called back. Flag on the play. Interception by Tennessee. But flag on the play, so it's still Kansas City ball.
Real quick, Truth, I want to make sure I get your input in too, man. What do you think so far about this week and your team and the NFL season so far? Truth, you there?
I think he's making a sandwich.
Oh, he might be making a sandwich. That's right. Well, let me ask you, Alonzo. You and your team and the NFL season so far, what is your take so far for what you've seen?
My team sucks this year, and it's sad to say, but it's true.
Well, aren't they an even record team right now? Or aren't they like 5-4?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, the AFC East, we booming this year.
Listen, the Jets are amazing this year. I don't know how. Buffalo is showing their true colors in being a winning team. Because remember, New England is fourth in our division. We're last. So I'm not used to this. Over the past like 25 years,
But to be fair, though, every team in that division has a winning record.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
And plus, let's be honest. I mean, the worst is, wait a minute. Let me look at right now. Who's the worst standing? It's the AFC. Yeah, the South. The South is tragic. It's only the Falcons, really, and then
technically the Bucks. So the Bucks should be 7-2, if not 8-1 by now. That's the record should be. Because I give the one loss against the Chiefs. What was that?
They have no defense this year.
Well, I mean, to be honest, no, but their defense isn't completely bad, though. It's just that certain games, if you notice, they held the opponents to under a certain limit, under 20. Anytime a defense can do that, you've done your part for the game. If you can tell them to like 18, 17 points, less than 20, you've done your job. And their losses have come from majority of the losses, or at least three or four out of the losses. It's only been by 2 or 3 points.
Right. Well, my issue though is what's going on with the offense as well, because they're not seeming to click. Like Fournette.
Which offense are we talking about?
Tampa Bay. Because Fournette's not running like he should be. I don't know if Brady feels weird because he doesn't have his safety blanket in Gronk, but he's got weapons.
Exactly.
He's also going through a divorce, though.
And Julio Jones just came back because Julio Jones is supposed to be his.
This is why I said that they've been like dealing with injuries and stuff like that. Because my thing is,
like because Julio Jones, Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans. Mike Evans was suspended for a game, and then you had Chris Godwin and Julio Jones who were out, and then you had another receiver. I can't remember who else what it was. Then you also had your All Pro Bowl, All NFL lineman Jensen, who was like the center. He's out, and he's an All-Star, All Pro Bowl candidate usually. And then you had, I believe, one of the other running backs was also injured for a bit, and then he came back. So that's an issue in itself. And then maybe a couple of defensive players were in and out and hurt, banged up a little bit. But that's the problem. If that was the case and their team was fully healthy, I honestly think, and they had all their weapons out there, offensive weapons, they would be 7-2 or 8-1 by now. But because they couldn't get the rhythm, I think so. That's my opinion. But we'll see, because they have to literally win 7 out of the next 8 games, I think, to make it to the playoffs and get a wild card spot, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's on the I think so. I mean, they'll probably still make it because their division, their NFC South sucks too, right? They got who's
Wait
number
a
one?
minute. Wait a minute. Let me get over there real quick.
Let me
Yeah, you
also
got-
make sure I check in.
So it's
Let me
yeah,
get a
so
shout
yeah,
out.
they stuck completely. So
Panthers.
Falcons are 4-5, Bucks are 3-5, Saints 3-5, and Panthers are 2-7.
And let me get a quick shout out real quick to the chat because I see somebody I haven't seen it before, and he's been a supporter. And Paralife TV, your everyday wheelchair ninja, is hi there, and hope all is well. Shout out to you, man. Much respect. Thank you for being here. And like I said, real quick, anybody who's watching out there who's gonna be watching it currently live and on the replay, hit the like button. I appreciate you. Hit the notification bell, share, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the Cash App. Thank you so much. We accept and appreciate all donations of any size to the platform to give you content. And also keep rocking with us. We're going to keep giving you great content on NFL, NBA, NCAA football, NCAA basketball, MMA, boxing, MLB, you name it. Thank you so much. Continue.
Sweet mercy, you wasn't lying about Aaron Rodgers. How do you miss 20
man.
passes?
Green Bay sucks this season. I don't know what's going on.
I'm gonna tell you what's going on. That freaking agency. Because
You
it's
said
damn
what?
sure it's not the coach.
What's going on, Zoe? How you feeling today, bro?
I'm all right, bro. How you?
I'm well, sir.
All right.
Hey,
Yeah,
man.
you know-
I was asking you, where you at earlier, Truth? Where'd you go?
Had a call.
Oh, you was
Okay.
calling me? I thought I was still.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the word?
We just.
And I was
seen
gonna
what's
ask
going
you-
on this here football season.
Yeah, we were going to ask you, what's your opinion so far on the NFL season and how your team is doing?
Man, NFL season is great as always.
I
and
bet.
and my
You must
team
be an
right
Eagles
now
fan.
is getting things working. No, I'm a Vikings fan. We're getting things done, short.
Oh shit!
Everybody-
this season too.
Everybody is. Hey, listen. Like I said last year, we had the stats, but we wasn't winning. I don't want to hear nothing now. We got the stats. We will have the stats like we have every year, but we're going to have a winning record, and we're going to keep doing our thing. And I want everybody to respect my man. I want everybody to give me
7-1, baby.
Let's go. I want everybody to respect him because I'm tired of this man up here keep putting up these great numbers, but they say, "Oh, he's not winning." Okay, so when we're winning, I want his respect. That's all.
I mean, he all right. He all right. I mean, Kirk
You like
Cousins is all
that.
right. I'm just playing.
You like that?
Ah, you tripping.
Remember that from Washington? You like that?
He's doing better, but he's doing
Oh,
better.
when he won in Washington, you talking about that time when he won the division title?
Man, that was the greatest. That was.
Oh,
the greatest.
that was classic. Oh my god.
Like I told everybody the story. See, I was I was an RG3 fan, and then they kept trying to switch the role to him. Of course, I wasn't happy about it. But when he came in, then I was looking, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like this, he's accurate as hell. And then when he had that,
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. And then when he had that game, like he had that game, it was the Dallas game on Thanksgiving, and then he had the game against the Seahawks. And this was when the Legion of Boom was still was that. He had the number one defense, and he threw I think almost like 400 yards against them, and came back and won. And then ever since,
Oh shit, he's going go. Oh, they stopped him. Big run from Tennessee.
Yep. Because they start because
and ever since then I've been paying attention to Kirk Cousins. I always was a Peyton Manning fan. So this was doing when Peyton Manning
No, I
was
can't
playing.
talk to you anymore, man. You a Peyton Manning fan?
Why,
Hey, don't
are you
disrespect
the greatest
Peyton. Been holding
quarterback
it
in
down
the-
for a long
You
time.
don't like the greatest quarterback ever?
You
You
mean
don't like
name
the greatest
Tom Brady?
quarterback ever? Huh?
Tom Brady?
So you want to have this conversation?
Listen, Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback ever.
Okay.
Then
wanna
why you
have
didn't
this-
switch over to the Bucks then?
Hold on. Want to
Listen,
have this
I still was
conversation?
loyal to my team.
He
All right,
was
let's have this conversation. Okay, other than Tom Brady, who would be second behind Tom Brady?
Right now, Aaron Rodgers.
You believe Aaron Rodgers is better than Peyton Manning?
When it came to crunch time and winning in the playoffs, Peyton Manning had the problem like a lot of basketball players had when Jordan was playing. He kept running up against the GOAT. So I see what you're saying, but Aaron Rodgers has done a lot more with a lot less.
Oh, he's done a lot more with a lot less.
Not this year. Hell no.
See. All right, so that's why I said when you look at you have to go all the way back and actually look at the actual teams, actually what was done, actually how the games were played, and also what actually happened on those games. See, a lot of people they look at the stats and then they won't actually go on. They actually weren't watching those games. Like actually what happened if somebody had fumbled the ball at the end of the games and all that type of stuff. Field goal kickers missing kicks. Like at the end of the Jets game when we were supposed to go back to the Super Bowl and all these type of stuff. None of those things get included. It automatically just go on the win or loss record of Peyton Manning. And then we already see when he went to Denver and he had a defense. Who was beating who then? Looked like the Bucks. Looked like the Broncos was tearing the Patriots up every year.
Stadium quiet.
Huh?
I said Seattle spanked them and had the whole stadium quiet.
No. I actually what was happening.
When he won the Super Bowl.
I actually what was happening to Tom Brady. We ain't talking about Seattle. We talking about what was going on with Tom Brady. Was he beating Peyton then? Nah. Peyton was mopping him every year
during the game. It was the running back number 26 who won
No,
that.
I'm not. We ain't gonna use those excuses no more because that didn't happen with the Colts. We couldn't use those excuses.
We just said watch the whole game.
No, because we can't use those excuses. Who won? Because this is all I heard. Peyton Manning did all his thing, but he still lost. So that's what happened. Right?
Yes, at the end of the day, we lost the game. But again, you said you got to have the nuances of watching the game.
See how it's convenient. So when Tom was beating them, we're gonna go to the nuances. We're gonna go to when not Edgerrin James. What was the running back? Joseph Adai fumbled when they played against the Patriots.
Right.
Okay, so does that count now? Since you just brought up something else, does that count?
Well, listen, we talking about what the running back did. Yes, the running back ran it back on the Patriots. That's why y'all won. But yeah, we can count Edgerrin James.
I asked a question. I said when Joseph Adai fumbled when we was down on the goal line, does that count?
We can count that. Yes, we can count that.
So going into so let's go to the Super Bowl that we lost against the Saints. We was driving down the field going into the half that would have put us up by 14 points against the Saints. Wide open. What was the guy named Pierre Garçon. Wide open. If he would have caught it coming across during the post, it would have been a wide open touchdown. He dropped it going into the half. As soon as they got out of the half, what happened? They kicked the onside kick and got it back. See, these are this type of stuff nobody talks about ever. They don't never talk about none of that type of stuff. They just say, Peyton Manning threw the interception to Terry Porter, and that's what cost the game. But not to mention, we would have been up by 14 going into the half. Nobody talks about it.
But I mean, listen, drop passes happen.
Huh?
I said drop passes happen. Wes Welker dropped a pass in the Super Bowl. We still lost to the Giants, right? And then
hold on. Let's talk about that. Okay, let's talk about that. He dropped a wide open post pattern bread basket, or was he corkscrewing in the middle of the air trying to catch a catch? Wes Welker.
No, that was wide open. He just didn't lay his body out.
So what's more catchable? Somebody turning to the opposite way, because I could pull up the play that he dropped, spinning in the air, where he would have stretched out over top of his head to catch the ball, versus somebody catching the ball in stride and dropping it. What's worse?
Listen, if you drop it in stride, that's a problem as a pro athlete.
Okay.
But this is the great Wes Welker. He's supposed to be able to catch those twisting body catch. That's how he made his career. He was a dog. He's supposed to catch everything. That's why he was off the team the next year and back in Miami.
Oh, dog! He said
I'm a super fan, man.
He said he's supposed to catch that. And listen, we already know the cardinal rule as a receiver. I played football both in middle school and high school. We already know the cardinal rule. If it touch your hands, you're supposed to come down with it. We know that, but twisting in the air.
Listen, man, he should put some more stick on.
Why Megatron go?
All right, so who do we got in the Super Bowl?
Say again?
Right now, who do we got in the Super Bowl?
From the looks of it, on the NFC side, I'm looking at, believe it or not, either Philly or Dallas. And I really can't tell from the AFC. Probably Buffalo.
Look, for me...
hold on, Philly or Dallas? So you think right now Philly and Dallas is better than the Vikings?
I think Philly is better than the Vikings right now. Dallas is going to show its true colors and start stinking it up. But
okay. So how they going to the Super Bowl then?
I like your boy Jeffries. And then Adam Thielen, but he's getting kind of old, right?
Hey, he getting old, but he's listen. As long as my man keep putting it there and he don't drop them balls, we good to go, and he can stay healthy.
Well, that's the good question, if he stays healthy. But no, I could see Minnesota making a run in the playoffs. But to be honest, I want to see how Aaron Rodgers is going to react to this subpar first half of the season. Oh my God, beautiful cat.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Listen, that situation is done. That situation is done. I'm trying to tell y'all that right now.
I want to give a quick shout out, man, real quick to Daryl Long. Shout out, appreciate you, man.
What's up, DL?
Shout out to you, Daryl.
Daryl, what's going on, bro?
Yeah. I got I mean, of course, I think TB is going to they're going to turn it around. I got them still going to the playoffs. The Bucks. Of course, I got the Vikings in there this year. We're going to be over top of Green Bay this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to have the number one in our division. Then I got, I think, the 49ers.
Forgot about the Niners.
Yeah, and let me see who else. Like you said, with Philly and Dallas, that's pretty still even though, and see, this is what I try to tell people. I know Philly is killing. But remember that I keep telling people there's certain teams that they do well, like they have a hot streak, and then like Zoe said, they're going to start plateauing. Who they truly are is going to start, fall in line, and all that running stuff that what's the name is doing, and all that. Yeah, that stuff is going to stop, bro. It's about to slow down. They're about to get into this next half of the season, and if you look at that schedule, things is about to change.
Oh yeah, man. Let me look at the Eagles schedule because y'all talking all this stuff. I'm sorry, but I think Eagles they're gonna run this. I think they're gonna run it all the way. They might lose, but I think they're gonna hold it down. Let me see this. Let me see this real quick. Let me see this. Oh, the Colts, that's gonna be a murder game. Packers, I don't got no faith in the Packers no more. Titans, they're gonna beat the Titans.
I don't know about that. The Titans are
tough. Yeah, they definitely. Hey, I ain't got.
Okay, I'll say it's a toss-up, but I still rule
I ain't
Eagles
got to
winning.
beat the Titans.
Giants now. See Giants now that
I
I
ain't
can't
got
go
to
against
beat the
that.
Giants.
Bears, they're gonna lose.
Well,
They're
they
gonna win
already
against
beat the
Bears.
Giants.
Cowboys, now see that's gonna be a tough one. And
They
Saints, I
already
think that's
spanked the
another
Cowboys.
easy. And then the Giants, so they might go 13-3, or was I don't know 13-3, but they might go.
13-3. You better.
I don't know. I forgot how much games they got in total. I forgot how much games they got in total. I keep thinking 16. I keep
Wow,
thinking
was
16.
you a Philly fan?
No, but I'm not gonna. But hey, look. If they put in the work, I'm not gonna disrespect.
Right. Hold on. And you said 13-3. No, they got an extra game this season.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, so
I said I
it'll be
forgot. I
14-3.
keep thinking 16. I keep thinking 16. So that's why I said 13-3.
Yeah. No. That's what I'm saying. I got them.
500 seasons.
I got them probably going about like over the last game. Because what is this? This is the 8th week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No. Week 9.
We
This
got
week
9
9.
games. 9 games left. I'm gonna give them probably. Because I ain't got again at the way because you got to go into the rest of the Cowboys schedule is like,
I only see them losing 3 games.
and then you got the Cowboys at home. I think you got Tennessee at home too.
No, they're at
And
the
then-
Eagles.
Huh? They're at the Eagles.
Yeah.
You got Green Bay at home, right?
Nope. We're at Eagles. We got the Colts at their game. Okay, look. Eagles got
Yeah.
the Colts at their house.
House.
They got the Eagles going to be in their house against the Packers. They're going to be in their house against the Titans. They're going to be at the Giants' house when they face them. They're going to be at the Browns' house when they face them. They're going to be at the Cowboys' house when they face them.
Okay, so
They're
the
going to be at
last
the
couple
Eagles'
seasons.
house with the Saints, and they're going to be at the Eagles with the Giants.
Giants, right? Okay, all right, gotcha.
Yeah, so I
that
think that first game against the Eagles with the Giants, the G-Men will take it just for cardiac arrest reasons. And then the second game, they'll get beat down by Philly in Philly.
I don't know. That's what I was saying. I
only see
them
3
figured
losses
out.
possibly at best. That's what the Giants and the Cowboys that's it. Other than that, I don't see anything else.
Yeah,
Giants may be that rare.
Just because how I know they're gonna plateau, man. I don't got them beating. I still don't got them beating the Saints. I got them losing
What?
both. Yeah.
Oh,
No, you got listen. Honestly, one thing I do.
don't get me wrong. I know the Saints got defense.
And see,
But-
what people do is people look at records. I look at the matchup. I look at who's going to be available, and also I look at the teams that's coming off, like the games that they're coming off of. Like
Yeah,
you can
that's
tell,
what I'm
like
saying.
when people come off of certain teams and everything, and they got to prepare for the next team next week, depending on how bad they're going to get beat down, whether they got to travel, and also the matchup lineup.
Well,
And then
okay.
also-
Well, wait a minute. They're gonna have some time before they face the Saints because the Eagles versus the Cowboys that could be December 24th, and then the Saints versus the Eagles that could be January 1st. So they're gonna have some time. Well, wait.
Ain't one of those games Thursday. One of those games is a Thursday.
Yeah, one of those games. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, wait. Okay, I gotta look at the calendar. Hold on.
All right.
Y'all can keep going.
See that short week matters. That matters. Bro.
Yeah.
It matters a lot.
I just gotta say this real
That's why
quick.
we got whooped
You
by
know,
Bears
hold on,
Thursday.
Alonzo.
My fault.
I gotta say this truth. We all know that Tom Brady is the GOAT quarterback of the NFL in history. We all know this. Not Peyton Manning.
Are y'all starting that back up?
I'm
All
just
right,
saying, because I didn't get my chance to run my show real quick, but I'm just saying. I know it hurts to pain you, but we all know if we were to compare records, statistics, championships, overall winning mentality, game winners, gameplay, winning drives, clutch in the moment, we all know it's Tom Brady. He
All right.
is the pendulum. He is the standard. And the fact that he was picked round 6, almost bottom of the draft, coming out of Michigan, Wolverines, grew up in California watching Joe Montana, who was his GOAT at the time, Joe Smooth, Joe Chill.
All right.
He is the GOAT.
I
You know,
got
if Bill
you.
Belichick had
go!
his way,
I got
Tom
you.
Brady would be in San Francisco right now, and
Now,
Jimmy
with this
Garoppolo
said,
would still be in New England.
right. With that
And
said,
hold on. And the fact that he did it with guys that play in the stadium that are sitting in the stands as receivers to Randy Moss and Wes Welker.
Y'all not going.
Y'all got Edelman, Amendola. Y'all had who else? Oh, my bad. You're gonna put in Deion Branch. Then you had
Yeah.
Benjamin Watson. Then you had Gronkowski. Then we had other. We had hold on. You had Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. You had LeGarrette Blunt. You had Kevin Falk. We had Gillisley. And then you had who else? Lawrence Maroney.
Lewis Maroney.
We had
Corey Dillon.
Yeah, Corey Dillon. Got to show us Corey Dillon. We had Tim. Deion Branch and Brown, right?
Yep.
Troy Brown, Lawyer Malloy, Bucky Jones.
But if you notice, a majority of these receivers are not even first ballot Hall of Fame receivers at all.
Oh no.
The majority of them.
Okay. So let me know when. So let me know when y'all finish, so I can go down the lines of how.
I have a full diary journal. I have a full journal, Truth.
Let's do it.
Okay, wait a minute.
Hey! By the way, at least when he went to the Super Bowl, he tasted more victories than defeats.
Okay.
And he didn't get shellacked the way that the Colts did against the Saints. The way he got shellacked when he was in the Broncos, the Seahawks. And on top of that, if you wanna grant it that the defense that he played his last final season with.
That don't matter.
No. But it matters to a certain point, though. It matters to a certain point. No, you don't think it matters? Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, no. You got it, Truth. You got it, Truth. Truth. I'm giving you the reins now, Truth. Explain.
Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so first thing you talked about.
How do you make the extra point? 9-0 Kansas City, y'all. You just missed the extra point.
All right. So let's go back to the thing. The first thing you said, we dealing with the core. Okay, before Peyton Manning retired in 2015, he had all the quarterbacking records. So let's just get that straight. Those records were broken. Somebody played 6 years later and then broke all the records. Okay, so let's get that straight. Okay, now when we think about the quarterbacking standard, changing audibles, knowing being.
He didn't break it 6 years later.
You want to? We can track this if you want. I can pull it up because I do this all the time with people.
I want you to read the banner. What does it say? What does the banner say?
Well, no. Do you want? You want to track how long it took? Because after Peyton Manning, it wasn't Tom Brady. It was the Saints quarterback Drew Brees. After Peyton Manning. Okay, so that's why I said it took what's his name a while to break the record, because after Peyton Manning broke all the records, then Drew Brees broke it, then Tom Brady broke it after Drew Brees.
Tom Brady was on pace though the whole time. He was on pace keeping up with Drew Brees.
Yeah, I understand that, but if Peyton Manning didn't retire, they would not have it. So that's just the quarterbacking records, okay?
Peyton Manning washed his last year. He was chugging through that. He had to retire.
Yeah, so let's go to the actual game. This is why I say the nuances of the games. We gotta go to the actual games of what actually happened. So the first 3 Super Bowls, the 3 out of 4 Super Bowls, if you go to them, you go to the seasons, you go to the playoffs, you even go to the Super Bowls. Tom Brady wasn't this throwing machine. Everybody that watches football, he had a Hall of Fame. We're talking about 8 to 10 Hall of Fame defensive hitters, stoppers, strappers, everything. And then we got the greatest coach on our mind ever to play the game. We got that along. That's out there that's actually stopping Peyton Manning. That's the person that was stopping Peyton Manning. It wasn't Tom Brady stopping Peyton Manning. The person stopping Peyton Manning from getting in that end zone, devising plays to stop him, telling defenses where to go to intercept the ball and everything like that. That was Bill.
Right,
Tom
but a
just
lot
had
of
to come
that came
back
from
on.
practicing against the GOAT.
Tom had to came back on, and all he had to do is to go down the field, throw the ball, so somebody can kick 3 field goals to win Super Bowl.
Hold on, real quick. I'll let you keep going. Let me just introduce somebody in the chat. Blackman Unfiltered Network. Shout out to you, man. You're the biggest you're the biggest Tom Brady hater. He with the Saints. He with the stinky ass Saints. Remember the Saints that got eliminated by Brady when he played for the Bucks when he won his championship. Put some respect on his name. Yeah, y'all beat him in the regular season, but you lost where it mattered. You lost in the playoffs where it mattered. He got 7 rings. Not to mention he holds first place for all the record-breaking records, minus the MVPs, which I will give you. Peyton Manning owns the record for the number of MVPs for an NFL football player. He has 5. Peyton Manning has 3 to 4, I believe, last I checked, which is tied for second. However, longevity also runs this game. Hey, you can say all you want about his wife. Guess what? He's still a phenomenal man. Guess what? Semantics. See, this is what women do when they come for the sign language, right? I'm surprised Blackman Unfiltered is doing this move right now. I'm really surprised. I'm a little shocked. But like I said, he don't want to smoke when it comes to debate. His Saints ain't doing shit. His Saints are sitting at home eating jambalaya and gumbo. That's what they want to eat over there. And up in Bourbon Street. Don't let me talk. Don't let me talk about Bourbon Street when they come past a certain section. Bourbon Street is defiled. All right. But anyways, continue because you don't want to smoke either when it comes to sports with me, son. Hey, shout out to Mrs. She Said from Mr. He Said from the Hair Stripe Media Group. Y'all make sure you go show them some love. Hit the link, like, share, subscribe. Yo, leave a comment for them. It's a Cash App. But back to this Black Man Hatred Network. Tom Brady let the air out the balls, and his wife let the air out of his. Let's be honest, Blackman Unfiltered.
Oh, beautiful.
He got a $400 million contract, almost $500 mil, after he retires when he does sports broadcasting. Remember, he has that other man
about the air out the balls, right? It's funny because we were
air
actually
out these nuts.
losing and struggling in that game when the air was out the balls. When they reinflated them, we started spanking the Colts with Andrew Luck. So if we were cheating by deflating the balls, that means that we were giving the other team a possibility of catching up to us. Because when they reinflated them to regulation, what did we do second half? We spit it and anked them. Oh my God, somebody stop them. Run for that touchdown. Oh man. King Henry.
That's not the truth, Black Man Unfiltered. Last I checked, the opinions of Black Man Unfiltered do not reflect the opinions of the intellectual soapbox or anybody on this panel. Last I checked. Truth obviously was laughing his ass off. Laughed my butt off, as he says. However, last I checked, Brady, ever since he went to the Bucks, he was owning that division. It was funny how the Buccaneers turned it around when Brady got there, won a championship with the second team, like Peyton did. The difference was, once Peyton had the 2012-2013 season, he dwindled down, and he really couldn't pick it back up, especially the 2014-2015 season. It wasn't him. It was the defense and his running back, and, whenever he had a decent game every now and then. But he also had backup quarterbacks playing for him that season. And sure, it's 4-5, but where are your Saints at? Because last I checked, they're at the bottom of the division, not second to last. Last I checked, the Bucks are at least still the first division. So, yeah. How about them apples, son? I'm just saying. You do not want this debate with me because even though a lot of people hate on Tom Brady, his records say otherwise. The work he's put in say otherwise. The longevity he's put in otherwise. The championships say otherwise. He should have at least 9 to 10 Super Bowl rings. I give the 1 ring to maybe the Eagles, all right? The Eagles probably deserved it the most because it was offense to offense. There was no defense that game. When it came to the Giants, yeah, that's where they dropped the ball. And literally, Wes Welker dropped the ball that Super Bowl 46. They should have won that one. That was their get back at the Giants for breaking their undefeated streak in 2007-2008 season. Am I wrong? Is anybody there?
Yeah, no, you're
I'm
not
here,
wrong.
man. I'm here.
All right. Now I didn't want to go and explode like that, but like I said, how about them apples, son? How about them apples, son?
Ah,
Big facts. Hey, fellas, I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna get back to this game. I'm gonna watch up from the clouds. Thanks for having me up.
All right, Lonzo. Enjoy your game with your lady, man. You
No
stay
doubt.
safe, bro. All right. It's blasphemous what he says about Tom Brady. Blasphemous. With the male executive? With the male executive? Blasphemy, son. Blasphemy, son. His record, even though it's subpar, is still in the first place division. Am I wrong, Wally?
wait, say that one more time.
Even though the Bucks record is bad, it's still what? Number one, right? In the division?
No,
They're not. Last I checked, they're at first place.
in their division, not even.
In their division. In the
No,
Bucks
not even,
division.
bro. No, not even, bro. In their division, it's lit. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, they changed it now because at first it was the Falcons. But yeah, okay, yeah. Now in their division, yeah, they're number one.
All right then. Thank you. Don't give him no love in that social soapbox. He hating on Brady just because he's in the Bucks, not the Saints.
Yeah, man, but just crazy ass behind games, bro. But yeah, if Truth's still out there listening, yeah, bro. So the 18th going on to the 24th, that's gonna be a 6-day game. It's not gonna be a Thursday night. It's actually gonna be a Saturday night, Christmas Eve special, and then they have at least 8 days to amongst playing the Saints January 1st. So even if that's going to be a short week, that's going to also extend them to get a longer week of rest. So, hey. And I'm speaking for the Cowboys on that one. But I mean, to his earlier question about like who do we see going to the Super Bowl or at least making it to the All-Star? I mean, not the All-Star, but to the finals. I mean, if I had to look at the AFC East, I know from the South right now it's only the Titans. From the AFC North, of course, Ravens and Bengals right now. AFC I cannot speak today. AFC West, definitely Chiefs, and then depending on where the Chargers are, yeah, the Chargers are gonna go. And practically, you may as well say the whole damn AFC East is a pick in a wild card games because that division alone is literally the top division. Bills are at 6-2, Jets are at 6-3, Dolphins 6-3, Patriots 5-4. So hey, there ain't nothing I can say there. AFC, the NFC, Eagles of course are going, Cowboys, Giants. I mean, that's gonna be one feisty game right there. That's gonna be one feisty division right there, right? AFC West, only Seahawks. Oh, that's the only thing I see right now. I will also say 49ers, but they got to get it together. AFC North, definitely Vikings are going. I don't see no one else going from that division. It's a dumpster fire. And then, of course, from the AFC South, Buccaneers could definitely go. Falcons can go if they get their ish together. That's it. Man, nigga, get out of here. Get out of here. They don't got no offense. Man, hold up. What are these people quarterbacks? The Saints ain't going nowhere. Oh, Lord, no. Who the heck is the Saints quarterback?
Saints will be in the Super Bowl when they actually find a good quarterback.
Who's the Saints quarterback? What blasphemy you talking about? Okay,
and real quick, Wally, because we gotta jump shift to a different subject real quick. Let's go to the NCAA football, so National College Football ranking and the scores.
Yeah, that's all on you right there because I did not see none of the college football the other day because I was busy.
Yeah. Can you still hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So as I'm looking at the scores, because I remember I watched some of the games, I watched some of the highlights. Um, so obviously, like I said, um, Alabama lost to number 7 LSU. I think Alabama wasn't ranked that low before, but they dropped in the rankings. It's their second loss of the season. They lost by 1 point. Like I said, they should have only lost one game, maybe not no games at all. But they're obviously out of the um, college championship. I think poll rankings. I think they're out of there because they dropped 2 games. Maybe they dropped just one game. They would have bounced back, but they lost to a ranked division rival, which was Louisiana, the Tigers, LSU, 32-31. Um, he had Virginia Tech, who also wait a minute. I think this is last week. Hold on. Yeah, so Oregon State and Washington, who was ranked number 24. Washington won that. The Huskies 24-21. You had Ohio State beat Northwestern. It was a close game. It was a defensive game. 21-7. The number 2 ranked national college team in the nation, Ohio State. And then you had number 15, University of North Carolina, the Tar Heels versus Virginia. UNC won in a close one, number 15th ranked college, 31-28 against Virginia. UNC got the victory. TCU, number 4th ranked, TCU, Texas Christian University, the Horned Frogs versus Texas Tech Raiders. TCU, the Horned Frogs won against Texas Tech 34-24. Again, they're the number 4th ranked team. You also had Tulane, who was ranked number 16. I got to remember where Tulane is at, in which state. They won 27-13 against Tulsa. They also had the University of Central Florida. They're the 22nd ranked team in the nation, in the top 25. 35-28 against Memphis, the Memphis Tigers. And then you had Penn State, which was number 14th ranked Penn State. And then 45 against Indiana 14. And then you had number 5 Tennessee, who beat the upset of the week. I think is Georgia. They beat. I'm sorry, not an upset. An overall win for Georgia, number 1 ranked, because they had Tennessee as one of the top ranked teams to maybe make it to the a national championship. They lost to Georgia 27-13. Again, that is Georgia, the number 1 ranked team, versus number 15 Tennessee. Georgia got the victory. Then you have Michigan State Spartans, 23-15 against the 21st ranked team in Illinois. Then you had number 6 ranked national college team in the nation, Oregon. They beat Colorado, the University of Colorado, CU, 49-10. Then you had number 19 Liberty University, the 19th ranked team in the nation, beat Arkansas, 21-19. Then you had number 18 Texas beat number 23 ranked Kansas State, 34-27. Obviously, then you have Clemson, the number 12th ranked team in the nation, and number 20th ranked Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish. The Fighting Irish beat the Clemson 35-14. Then you had Michigan, the Wolverines, the number 3 ranked team in the nation. Michigan Wolverines beat Rutgers 52-17. That was a shellacking. Then you had Florida State, number 25th ranked, beat Miami, the Hurricanes, Florida 45-3. Now that's even more of a shellacking. They almost blew them out, and they held them almost a goose egg. Then you have Utah, who beat my USC Trojans earlier this year. The Utah beat Arizona 45-20. Then you had NC State, number 17th ranked NC State, beat Wake Forest 30-21. Then you had my USC Trojans, baby. Let's go. They're in the top 7, top 8. They beat California, Golden Bears. So the USC number 8 Trojans beat the California Golden Bears to 35, 41-35. Then you had UCLA, number 9th ranked UCLA, beat Arizona State 50-36. And did you hear all that? Wally?
Yeah, I got everything, bro.
Yeah, so those are the NCAA football rankings so far. Yeah, and there's plenty of the top teams that are looking good. There's even a couple of middle teams that are looking pretty good too. They got some 1-team losses. They got some losses with two teams. Just because the losses are there doesn't mean they're a bad team. They just lost some close games. They literally lost some close games, and I think Batman should only have one loss this year. Um, I think their first loss they shouldn't have lost, but that's another discussion. We're gonna shift real quick to NBA though. Wally, did you want to talk about NBA for a bit?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Ooh, let me look it up. Wait, what week are we in? Man, I was so focused on football this week. I was not paying attention to these games like this one. Oh, no, let me look at that. Let me see what's going on. NBA games. All right, so actually, I have been looking up at the NBA games, at least for Miami, but let me see what's going on here.
So we had a in the standings for the NBA. Can you still hear me, Wally?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Go ahead.
So we still have the NBA standings here, and the Bucks are number one, the Cavs are number two at 8-1 in the Eastern Conference. The Celtics are 6-3, Hawks 6-3, Raptors 6-4, Chicago Bulls 5-6, the Indiana Pacers 4-5, the Knicks 4-5, the Nets 4-6. We have Miami Heat 4-6. We got the Sixers 4-6. We got the Wizards 4-6. We got the Hornets 3-7. We got the Pistons 2-8, and we got the Magic 2-8.
Hey, look. Hey, look.
Man,
Hey,
hold
one
on,
of the
real
games
quick.
that played today. Oh man.
Hold on, real quick, Wally.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me finish the standings real quick for the Western Conference.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
And then so the Suns are number one, 7-2. The Jazz are 7-3. We got the Grizzlies at number 3 at 7-3. We got the Trailblazers at number 4 for 6-3. We got the Nuggets at the 5th seed and 6-3. We got the Mavericks at the 6th seed for 5-3. We got the Pelicans at 5-4. We got the Clippers at 5-4. We got the Spurs at 5-5. We got the Timberwolves 5-5. We got the Thunder at 4-5. We got the Kings at 3-5. We got the Warriors at 3-7. We got the Lakers at 2-7. Typical. We got the 15 ranked Rockets and 1-9 at the bottom, last place for the Western Conference. The Warriors are one of the one things that surprised me because they're a team that I think should be at least in 7-3, maybe 7-2, with the team that they got. But this is still early in the season. It's the first 10 games. Don't disappoint me, please. Don't disappoint me. Wally, you wanted to go over the game scores this week so far for the NBA?
So far to today's games that we had today, right? So it was the Cavs versus the Lakers. Look, LeBron lost to his hometown team. They beat them 114-100, straight like that. The Grizzlies versus the Wizards. The Grizzlies beat the Wizards to 103-97, so that's a 6-point game. The Raptors outbeat the Bulls to 113-104. And tonight's game is going to be the Jazz versus the Clippers. Depending on if they're all healthy, I think Clippers win that. Who knows? And for tomorrow's game that'll be presented, it'll be Wizards and Hornets. It'll be Rockets versus the Magics, Thunders versus Pacers, Pelicans versus the Pacers. Oh, sorry. No, Thunders versus Pistons. Sorry, that's my bad. And then Pelicans versus the Pacers. And then Suns versus 76ers, Bucks versus Hawks, Trailblazers versus the Heats again, Raptors versus the Bulls, Boston Celtics versus the Grizzlies, Nets versus Timberwolves, Nuggets versus Spurs, Nets versus the Mavericks, Kings versus Warriors, Lakers versus Jazz, and then the Cavs versus the Clippers. That's tomorrow's game, people. Tomorrow's games. And if you want to recap from November 5 was Kings versus the Magics. Kings outbeat the Magics by 3 points, 126-123. That was a great game. Um, the Nets versus Hornets, 98 points to their 94. Nets won 4 points. Just based on that, that's a little bit mediocre, but nonetheless, a win's a win. Hawks outbeat the Pelicans 124 to 121, 3 points, not bad. Celtics beat the Knicks 133 to 118. That is that I have to admit that's a big game right there. Timberwolves outbeat the Rockets 129 to 117. Bucks 108 against the Thunder's 94. The Nuggets 126 to the Spurs 101. Suns 102 to the Trailblazers 82. Woo! That's a bit sad. Yeah, those are the scores that I just named. That's from yesterday's game. Sorry, not yesterday, but November 5th. Sorry, a little bit off today. And that reminds me, real quick, since I have the floor for the time being, man, you over here with a garbage ass quarterback and a garbage ass backup. Y'all say it's like going nowhere. Get the freak out of here. I got Andy Dalton. There you got freaking Jameis Winston. That's the worstest quarterback combo ever. Can't win with that. Not one with that. But I mean, just to throw out a little bit of some hit flash news. I mean, right now Nets are technically suffering because of the whole controversy of their point guard. And right now also so far the Spurs are also facing some controversy with their little player as well, showing off his wee-wee in a text, which honestly was the most stupid and immature thing ever. Especially in this time, man, look, you can't play stupid. You can't be out here doing some stupid stuff. If someone wanted to see that, they would have came to your place and motherfucking.
Who are you talking about? You talking about the Spurs player?
Yeah, that Spurs player. He over there showing his weed.
Oh, the young guy? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the most foolish thing that he could ever do. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if they made a decision on him yet, but I think he's about to lose his job. If he hasn't already lose it already, because that is just sad. That's sad. You can't be out here doing some dumb stuff like that. But if you want, let me look at something real quick. Let's see this. So let's see here. So let me give some telling takes of the game between today's games amongst the Lakers and the Cavs. So Lakers were 46% on the field goals, while the Cavs were 44%. Amongst three-pointers, the Lakers were 29.6%, while the Cavs were 25% on the field. And free throws, 88.9% went to the Cavs, and 57.1% went to the Lakers. So I think part of the whole story here is these free throws. I didn't get your ish together, because that's part of the reason why they probably won. So sad. And then let's talk about it. So total rebounds were 48 for the Cavs. 9 of them were offensive rebounds, and you guys had 43 rebounds total, and only 10 of them were offensive. You were able to pass the ball more effectively with 24 assists to their 19. 4 blocks for the Lakers, 6 blocks for the Cavs. 7 steals for the Cavs, 4 steals for the Lakers, 16 turnovers for the Lakers, and 12 turnovers for the Cavs. Points in the paint. So for the paint, y'all had 56 Lakers to their 48 Cavs, and foul personal was 26 for the Lakers and 20 for the Cavs. So yeah, I need to tighten that up. Start getting these calls now. Really quick.
Do you hear any noise in the background, Wally?
Noise from your place?
Yeah.
No, I don't hear nothing.
Okay. Just gonna double check. So, Wally broke it down right there. I'm not worried, but I'm also not happy with how my Warriors are doing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, at least you have no one over here barking at you about how your team losing. Man, look, if I have to hear Jay one more time talk some ish, knowing that we have did some phenomenal things so far as the Miami Heats, I'm gonna lose it. It's over, man. We over here holding ourselves down. I mean, we're not at a great start ourselves, but at least we're still holding up when it comes to the right timing. So, like I said, we ain't halfway there. We don't know what's gonna go down.
Now that we're done basically talking about the NBA for a bit, I want to talk about boxing and MMA. You want to talk about MMA or boxing first? Which one do you want to talk about?
Either which one.
Well, let's start with MMA. How about you start it off, Wally, and then I'll add on.
Oh man, see, yeah, you're gonna have to mostly start this off and carry because I'd be like, I mean, I forgot which one. I forgot who I heard last when I heard the MMA fight. Because boxing, we already know the Anderson Silva and Logan Paul fight, how that ended. Logan Paul ended up winning that fight. As far as MMA, I forgot who was the last fight. The last time I heard a fight, I heard someone had guillotine choke victory over somebody. I think that was the women's division, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you're talking about the woman from yesterday?
I believe so, if I'm not mistaken. Because I forgot the name.
I think that was like UFC Vegas, like 64, 65, right?
Give or take, because I really don't know the number. All I know those fighting.
All right, let me look it up. And while they're doing that, just hold it down real quick. Let me just Google it.
Yeah. I'm looking it up right now as well, so to make sure. But yeah, let me look that up. News. Okay, yeah. So it was UFC Vegas 64, and if I'm not, okay. So I think it was Amanda Lemos versus M Rodriguez, Marina Rodriguez, and I think that ended in a guillotine fight, if I'm not mistaken, a guillotine choke submission or something else. I have to. Oh, okay. It was a stoppage by knockout. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Yeah, it was a stoppage by knockout. But what it said, it was too soon. Surprisingly. Let me look at these results. I'm looking at these fight results because I'm looking around this. Let's see here. Give us a moment. She's second out. This in a violent fashion. Call it out for a title shot. Whether or not she gets it all depends on what goes down between division queen. So Amanda Lemos. I hope I said that correctly. I probably am saying it wrong, but so she had actually had her victory against Rodriguez in a knockout, and right now she called for a title shot, but of course we do not know what's going on with the fight. We still have to wait until the Carla Esparza versus W. Zhang. So until we know what happens in
That's
that fight,
her name is pronounced Zhang Weili.
okay, well they put Zhang after, so that's why I said that. But yeah, but so that until we know that fight, that will determine if she does or not. But in most cases, people are banking if she doesn't get that title fight, the next one would be Young X. I don't know how to properly say that one name. I do not know how to say that name. I don't know. I feel like butchering shit. But she been on a good fighting streak. Been taking out some decent names, taking out people in certain ranks. So, hey, who knows? She definitely is fighting her way to the top. So we could see her in the title contention soon enough. Another winner of that night was Neil Magny. I do not know who he fought that day. All they're showing me is
Neil Magny, he broke the record of most welterweight victories in the UFC.
right.
He broke George St. Pierre's record. George St. Pierre had 19 wins in that division of the welterweights.
Right.
The UFC, and Neil Magny broke it with 20th victory.
Right. Because Neil Magny is literally saying right here he has 20 wins in the octagon amongst welterweight, and no one else haven't been able to do that much over. They're basically saying his next fight should be Gamebred against Jorge Masvidal, which would be interesting. That'd be a very interesting fight.
I don't want to hear about that guy. He's booty cheeks.
Well, that's what they said that B should be facing up next. So that's going to be a very interesting fight. I mean, it would definitely be a nice test to see if he's ready for that title contention. But so yeah, these names.
How if he lost already too?
Well, we all know. But what I'm saying is, you already know he's. If I'm not mistaken, he's still ranked, right? Like Jorge Masvidal.
I think he's not even in the top 10 anymore.
Well, okay, so in this case, he's one of those guys that face top contender guys and even then champion guys. So if he can get through him, it's a little bit of a significance to say he's ready for the big house in a sense.
No.
Like I said, in a sense. I didn't say exactly, in a sense.
Like I said, no.
I digress. Okay, that's why I said in a sense, not ultimately. In a sense, I know you don't favor George.
I know, and I say no.
Whatever. At the end of the damn day, he's getting up there. Now, as far as where he'll be in the time being, we'll see what happens. I don't know. I need to look at it. I need to look at a different article because they're not telling me how they won. I'm getting pissed off. I'm reading booty ass looks.
For all you Lakers fans out there that are watching in the panel behind stage, that are going to watch the replay, read this slogan. LeBron James, Russ Westbrook, Anthony Diagnosed Davis, Patrick Boo Boo Beverly. Let's go.
Shame on you. I thought you remembered no Lakers slander. I thought Mr. Best told you no Lakers slander on the panel. Oh my God. Oh, okay, let me see what happened here. Back and forth thrill. Saw both men with a lot of success. Long haul from the suburbs and clinch the top games. The exchange of big blows. Had enough when he popped up the roof. Tall man clearly started to gas tank. When him got to take down for the third time, it forced him into a. Okay, so he won by submission. Okay, that's not bad. After the bout, Magny called for a fight with Gilbert Burns. Oh, okay. I have no problem with it. If
I got Gilbert winning that.
To fight Jorge Masvidal, but recently lost to Rabadon over the dog. Maybe bouts should aid with Sean.
Speak of the devil. Yeah, you're not my father. You're not my father. Shout out to you, son.
All right. So for another fight, they could also be predicting Sean Brady as another fight contention as well, and then probably somebody else, which will be interesting. There's like a test and so pass to get there. Yeah, man, this is yeah. Let me see who else is up here. Yeah, yeah. I haven't like literally without cable. I have not literally been able to stay up on these UFC fights like that. So it's like that's why I said most of you have to be the one to tell it. All right, but what you got on boxing though? Marcus, you there? All right, Marcus took a stand outside. So okay. So real quick, let me see what else can we talk about right now. Let me find something else, and I will get that to you guys. Hold on. Oh, so there's a little bit of news out here. Trading rumors are out there tonight. I hear some trading rumors from the NBA. Hold up. This is coming from Hoop Heights. Let me look it up. Yeah, no one was talking at the time. That's true. Let me do this real quick. Where is going on? What is going on? So, and yet the Nets are coming off a win without Benz and the winners of the former. So, one of the many configuring trades. Let me see. Regardless, today we'll take a look at the 5 players who have appeared most often on our trade page. So, okay, so one of the trades is coming by a player on the San Diego Spurs, and this is going to be.
Wait a minute. You can't jump into basketball.
Man, look, you taking a long time. I asked you what was going on in boxing.
My bad. Let me fill in for people that are in boxing. My bad. I'll take a little hiatus real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
But as obvious, we already talked about Jake Paul and Anderson Silva fighting, and a lot of people thought it was controversial because some people thought it was either a draw or that Anderson won, despite the fact that he got dropped in the last round. But the other entirety of the round, it was mostly in the favor of Anderson Silva, or it was more of a draw in that sort of stance. But obviously, they're trying to push Jake Paul, and they're helping him win, and they're trying to be on his side in a certain way. Again, he's fought a YouTuber, a basketball player, and a UFC fighter, and a wrestler. Those are his 5 fights. I think this was like his 6th fight.
I know a fight we can talk about, bro.
Hold on.
Bro.
But don't forget it. Don't forget your thought, though. Let me just get this out real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Caleb Plant and his victory too, because he won, or he's getting ready for his fight. And then you had Better Bivol, who trains out here where I live at with the Diaz team, not the Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz. No, I'm talking about the boxing team of Coach Joseph Diaz and the Diaz family and their clan. They're the ones that also push certain fighters to the forefront. One of them was Timothy Bradley back in the day. Victor Ortiz was also out here too. And you had a plethora of other boxers come through here throughout the valley. And then a Better Bivol, who was known for beating Canelo in Canelo's last loss earlier this year, Either it was early this year or it was the end of last year. But I remember that's who was a big thing about because Canelo had gone up in weight class to the 170s range, and obviously Bivol was a pretty big guy. But compared to Canelo, Bivol looks big. But when Bivol boxes his guys in his weight rank, the guys look bigger than him. So Bivol kind of stands out as that guy that, you know, for whatever reason, he's shutting all the naysayers up. He the last guy who we fought, which is Zurdo Ramirez, he was a monster. He was supposed to be the guy that everybody was expecting Bivol to lose to, but Bivol dominated, put in the work, won unanimous decision over him, and put in the display of technician and chess game of boxing when it came against the big men. So he was doing combos, body, hit body, head body. He was having him against the ropes. So Bivol, when he had Zurdo Ramirez against the ropes his last fight yesterday, Bivol did his thing. And shout out to him because he's representing where I'm at in the Valley, Keller Valley Unified, area, in the Riverside area. So shout out to him. And also, we're trying to get ready for heavyweight fights. I know that Joshua is trying to have a fight with Fury. I personally would I would rather have a fight with Wilder, but then again, I don't know because at that point, Joshua has 2 or 3 losses on his record now. He lost to, obviously to Usyk, but I'd rather see Usyk fight Fury, see what happens there because they're both champions and they're both undefeated, or at least maybe I think Usyk has a loss or a draw. I'm not sure. Last I checked, but overall, Usyk is the bad boy too. He's the man you got to watch out for. I personally thought Joshua was gonna reclaim his revenge when he fought against him, but Usyk was just too much of a tactician and chess player in the boxing. The other thing too is we have Joshua, Wilder, Fury, Usyk, and Ruiz there, hanging around there. I know Wilder and Ruiz are supposed to be having a fight set up. We also have other issues happening in the lightweight division because specifically Spence Crawford, which is the dream matchup that everybody wants to watch, and that's supposed to be the next super fight. That's an issue in itself because you had Al Heyman, Bob Arum involved. So you got to have these issues where you got to make sure you take care of it. Something's happening, and it's just getting in the way of promotions and stuff, and people are being greedy. And it's not necessarily the fighters, because supposedly what was leaked is that they both each had an agreement where the boxing promotion and all the sponsor endorsements were going to give them $25 million guaranteed up front, not including the pay-per-view sales buys, not including the other stuff that comes with it. $25 million a piece each up front, as long as it's agreed upon. Then the rest of the money they would collect after, whatever it would be, man, it would be a nice fat check for each of them. But that didn't happen. That didn't work out. I don't know what's happening. I don't know, but I think that's where Al Heyman's not doing a good job. This is my opinion. My opinion does not reflect the opinion of the Influential Soapbox or Wally Wellsouth Productions or anybody else. That's just my opinion. And that sometimes misses the chance of people getting in the way of that. Especially the fans and the supporters who want to watch and love the sport of boxing and want to watch the fighters in their prime. Canelo and Triple G3 should not have happened this after late. It should have happened at least last year, at the end of last year, for a third fight at the most. But I think they should have fought 2017, 2018, 2019. 2017 and 18, they had their fights, right? Year after year. 2019, they should have had that chance to fight. They robbed Triple G the first fight. The second fight, they said it was a draw. Mostly people were saying it's a draw. Some even say it could have favored him, but I'm leaning more that it was a draw than a victory for Canelo. And that's shocking because I know I'm Mexican and I'm proud to be Latino, Hispanic, Mexican. but I don't think Canelo won the fight, especially the first one. The first one was a straight robbery. You're gonna call that a draw? No, because Triple G had won the first fight emphatically 7 or 8 rounds to Canelo's 4, maybe. In my opinion. In my opinion. And then you also have um, Charlo, the Charlo brothers who are undefeated. You have the main top guy who's a Titan coming into the ranks, which is David Benavidez. And they want to see Benavidez versus Canelo. They want to see Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. I want to see Benavidez versus Plant first, and then we could talk maybe Canelo. And I want to see if Canelo can fight him at 168, 170, around that weight rank. And then you have the lighter guys, the 135ers, the 140s. You got Teofimo Lopez, you got Tank Davis, who's there. I think they're gonna want to make that fight secretly. This is my opinion. They want to make that fight secretly, and it'll amaze the fans when they get it, because I want to see Tank and Teofimo Lopez. Part of me hopes that maybe Teofimo wins, but I'm thinking the smart decision is to go with Tank Davis. But Tank Davis is gonna have to show a lot of work, because this is gonna be one of his toughest tests ever throughout his whole career. Then you have Devin Haney, and you have Ryan Garcia, and you have that's basically it though. Oh, maybe Shakur Stevenson. I think Shakur Stevenson, last I checked, he's like a 140 pounder, maybe 140, maybe 135, around that weight class. But other than that, I can't really talk much after. Ball, you got anything you want to say, man?
Yeah, so about the going back to the Wilder fight situation. So I heard about because there was some talk about him and Joseph. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, both of them fighting, because I actually saw something that said that he was looking to fight him, if I'm not mistaken. But I have to get back into one of my resources and see if I have that in my email. But yeah. But I've seen that, he's talking about that type of fight. Also, if anyone remembers the Le'Veon Bell, when he was when he had his boxing time, I think he had his first professional fight and he lost that. And he looked messy. Just throw that out there.
And I want to say this too, right? Because there is actually a lot of great boxers out there right now. It's just that sometimes they're not aligning with the fights that people that when we shoot the dream matchups. Mm-hmm. That's important to watch, because if you can get them in the prime, when we had Pacquiao versus Mayweather, that was too late. Even though I appreciated the fact that they gave us a fight, it was still like that was a fight that we should have got 3 or 4 years ago, before that fight was set up. Like 4 or 5 years in ahead, of its time, and we got it in 2015. And then Mayweather, I think he goes into retirement a year or two after that, but then he comes out of retirement to fight Conor, and they exploded and made a lot of money, both Conor and him. I think what Mayweather made was like 2.5, 3 times more than what Conor made. But Conor, he's the most highly overpaid athlete ever. He's making the most, and he actually made like a lot compared to a lot of other athletes in different sports. So he doesn't, he went from working as a plumber / part-time fighter to a full-time billionaire, entrepreneur, empire, mogul, having alcohol, having other apps, suits, and sponsored by like a Suits Men's Warehouse type thing, and sponsored by watches, sponsored by Lamborghini, having his own Lamborghini yacht, mansions, jets, private jets. He gets percentages of certain fights and pay-per-views. So he's a smart businessman. Let me real quick welcome real quick. Hey, John Sinatra, thank you so much for being here, man. Appreciate it. Much love, man. He says dropping off some love and support in the chat. Stay consistent, bro. I got you, man. And I got you all the time. And anybody who still wants to come up, who's still watching, let me make sure I quote the screen.
It should be pinned at the top, bro. You don't have to worry about dropping the link.
No, I know. I just want to make sure I highlight it just in case there's someone.
All right.
I don't know. Yeah. But like we were saying, there's still a lot of great fights to happen. UFC still got great fights. I don't want to see Hamzat and Colby Covington fight yet. I think Hamzat has to go through a couple more guys to get up to Colby first. If Hamzat can get to two more guys, get Colby to fight somebody else. I want to see Colby fight Gilbert Burns. That would be a great fight to watch. Colby and Gilbert Burns. That would be a great fight, right?
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
that would be a great fight. I want to see Colby fight Dustin Poirier. But obviously Dustin would go up to. They really got to make a 165 division though. They really have to, and then change welterweight from 170 to 175. That way it helps with their energy and doesn't have to have them kill their bodies with a lot of weight cut.
My thing is with UFC and the weights is like, if for the UFC to do that is like they have to start really having more consistent fighters, because if you're gonna break it down like that, more guys are gonna be willing to do that and cut down weight and maybe be in more divisions than one. But it's like there's gonna have to be more. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know.
Well, but the thing is, though, they already have a lot of fighters in the roster though that don't even get pushed as much. They have a lot that are very talented, that are very skilled, but some of them are getting cut and released. Not just because they're losing. Some of them don't even get to fight. Some of them don't get pushed, or maybe medically.
But that's what I'm saying. Like at this point now, I mean, especially where UFC is right now, especially with the TV promotions being on ESPN and everything else, they should really be gunning to make it a little bit more bigger. But I just don't see why they're not. It's really pointless at this point. And
the thing is too. Remember, the thing is why I say is look it. You go to 125 to 135. That's 10-pound difference. 35 to 145, 10-pound difference. 45 to 55, 10-pound difference. But you get to 55 to 70, that's a 15-pound difference. That's an extra 5 pounds you got to cut. Right. And then you get from 170 to 185, that's another 15-pound difference. Then you get to 185 to 205, that's a 20-pound difference. So if you can literally have that clause in between 165, 175, 185, maybe 190, and then go to 205 like that, because that way they don't have to kill themselves as much when it comes to the weight cut. Yeah. Those 5 pounds will make a difference in feeling rejuvenated, not feeling so depleted. This coming from a guy who has done boxing, has done wrestling, has done MMA. I've noticed those weight cuts because I remember when I'm 5'10", 5'10 and a half. I'm not that tall. Maybe with Timberlands I'm 5'11", but maybe with Jordans I'm 5'11" or 6 foot almost. But
definitely you're 5'11" if you wear those.
Yeah, 5'11 and a half maybe. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this. When I had to wrestle, and I was underweight. I was fighting in the 189s. But remember, there was a weight division in between there, which is from 171 to 189. There's an 18-pound difference, right? 171 to 189 is an 18-pound difference, and I would always be weighing around 180, 181, 182, maybe 179. So whenever I had to do the weight cut for the extra 8-9 pounds, because they sometimes in tournaments they give you weight pound allowances, which is 1 to 2 to 3 pounds, maybe 4 pounds. If you're lucky, 3 to 4 pounds is usually the luckiest spot. Usually it's like a 2-pound allowance, maybe a pound and a half. But it made it tough to cut that weight, and I felt very weak and depleted. But those couple pounds can make a difference. It's from my personal experience for boxing, personal experience. Those extra 4 or 5 pounds can pack a more powerful punch in your hip too, especially with the perfect stance, the conditioning, power, the cardio, all that kind of stuff, the intensity, the endurance, the stamina. That helps out a lot, because the more weight you cut, the more weaker you get when you come to strength, right?
Right.
So that's just what I'm saying, and it can help the fighters. It helps their health, because Wally, you've seen it before. When certain fighters have weighed in, when it's their time to weigh in, some of them feel so sick they fall off the scale. They have to get medically checked. Sometimes their fight gets canceled.
Some of them.
Their fights get canceled because they're so weak and they're so sick now.
Yeah, some of them they literally can't really muster it like that.
Guess what, Wally? Some of them need help getting up there. They can't even walk on themselves.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There was female fighters, and there was male fighters that were doing that when they were. But then again, you sign a contract and you agree to fight at that weight division. You should not have done that. There are some fighters that make it so where, hey, I can fight in more than one weight division. That's their clause in their contract, and they can't get fined. Now, if you don't make weight or you're too sick to fight, you could get fined there as well.
Right. I mean, honestly, at this point, that's the whole point, though, right? And I mean, to even now speak on it, right? Oh, so it's be easy.
Shout out to Be Easy, man. Shout out to Be Easy, that dude, and Big Rig Slaps on their channel on the show on Knowledge and Relationships, and they do Easily Rig. Go check that out when they're live.
Yeah, they're live. If I'm not mistaken, Tuesday going to Wednesday. If I'm not mistaken, they late in the morning, right? Or late, yeah. Because you know how the MMA it's neither MMA or fighting. I think it's just a fighting union where they're trying to change how these things are going down because it's crazy out here, man.
Hey, and this is the funny thing, Wally, right? Because my senior year of high school, I didn't get a chance to really play any sports at all because my mother had gotten really sick the year prior, and she was in the hospital. I had nearly a fatal, she could have passed away. And so I stopped after my junior year, got a job. But that year, wrestling, Greco-Roman high school wrestling, made a clause where they implemented a weight gap. They added a new weight class. And I'm like, man, see, this is what I could have used back in the day. And they made it to where instead of having 171, and that was the welterweight basically division, and then the middleweight was 189, they did it where, okay, 183 is middleweight, 195 is like the super middleweight or light heavyweight in a way, light or whatever it is, and then you had 171. So now from 183 to 171 was a 12-pound thing, as opposed to an 18-pound difference. You see how that makes, or I'm sorry, yeah, because even 83 to 195 and 171 is a 12-pound difference in between each other, as opposed to having to cut almost 19 pounds or 18 pounds.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
It was just my unfortunate luck, but hey, I ended up making money instead of wrestling, so I could take that all day if you want. I'll make the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and that's what. Let's say it again.
No, so that's what happens in rare timing.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but that's why I added Bellator and One Fighting Championship here, and I forgot to add PFL, but Pride Fighting League, Bellator and One and Pride or PFL, they're offering sometimes way more money, usually more money to get paid and compensated in percentages to the fighters. That's why they get out of their contract, which I heard Paulo Costa, who has a loss already to Adesanya, and I think he may have lost one other time. If not, it was just to Adesanya. If not to Marvin Vettori, the Italian fighter, who just lost to Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker, if it wasn't Adesanya as a champion there, Robert Whittaker would be the champion of the middleweight division. And if not, it would probably be maybe Jared Cannonier, maybe him. But Paulo Costa, out of that fight that he fought against Adesanya, I was so pissed about because even though it was like a year and a half, 2 years ago, we deserved a better fight than that because that was not the fight that we deserved to watch because that was supposed to be like a super titan 185-pound middleweight championship fight between Costa and Adesanya. And Costa
that fight happened already, right?
That fight already happened. It was an embarrassing fight because Costa looks like he wasn't even trying. And then the other fight that pissed me off was Yoel Romero, who was a monster, who was like God's soldier, Soldado del Dios, as he likes to call himself. And I got a lot of love for Yoel Romero. But ever since the whole Stoolgate with against Tim Kennedy, who is a former Special Forces Army badass, Green Beret, and then he was also he was fighting against Yoel Romero, and that was the Stoolgate incident where in between rounds in the title contending fight, Yoel Romero was using the Stoolgate, and it was past his time, and that's considered violation and cheating, especially in UFC regulation rules. And even he confronted them or talked to them backstage, and they were greeting each other again after the fight. And there was like a split decision win for him or something like that. But when Yo Romero also fought Adesanya, what the hell was that? Like, he hit him like twice, and it kind of buzzed him. And one of the hits, because Yo Romero hits like a fucking Mack truck. Sorry to swear, but Yoel Romero did that shit, and it was just like, what the hell, man? So,
Wow.
I don't know, man. It's not the fight that we should have got.
Depressing because for me to hear that middleweight fight was boring, I'm glad I didn't. I don't have cable. Shit, me. The fuck? You can't tell me that shit was boring. You just can't. Literally, you cannot tell me that shit was boring. You got two freaking strikers, and you're telling me you're not going out and striking? Man, that is some pussy shit. But yeah, you want to freaking talk about John Jones and crap. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. That is embarrassing. Oh.
But other than that, man, I don't really know what else to really talk about other than the fact that the Astros won the Major League Baseball. The guys who cheated my Dodgers a couple years ago, those POSs, the Houston Astros. Again, these opinions do not reflect the opinions or thoughts and minds of Intellectual Soapbox or Wally Willtop Productions. These are my thoughts, all right? Me, myself, and I. But shout out, congratulations to Houston. F you. But we don't forget about what you did. We don't forget about the championship you cheated, where I think, if I'm not mistaken, the MLB reneged and took that championship away from you. Last I checked. But other than that, I don't know what else we can talk about. What else you want to talk about, Wally?
Yeah, I can't really think about anything, honestly, because like I said before, the sport, so far, football was the main thing I was worried about because of the whole picks that we did on JBJ. But other than that, MMA I didn't really watch. When it comes to MMA, I don't. Sadly enough, I don't got cable to watch MMA, so I can't even get to even watch stuff like that, especially on streaming. I have to figure out a way to watch it on streaming, but I couldn't see that. Bellator, I did not really see anything that going down in Bellator, so I didn't know what was going on there. One fighting.
Yeah, Scott Coker. He's doing a pretty good job of taking in the guys that were in style in the UFC that were the main spotlight in the UFC. Once they kind of dwindled down or didn't really get the shine, even though they still get the respect and love that they get from the UFC fans and the universe of the UFC.
Right.
When they go to the other promotions, Steve Coker obviously compensates them well, and their contracts and their decisions and the percentages for what they get.
Right.
Commission, whatever else, pay-per-view sale, ticket buys. And obviously, you don't have to be held down to an endorsement sponsorship for a clothing brand. They can wear their own stuff.
Right.
They won't, UFC will not try to siphon anything in return. So,
Right.
But
yeah, I know. I mean, when it comes to Scott Coker, I believe he's always been a good dude when it comes to MMA. I just wish, in a sense, he actually just turns it up a little bit. I mean, for right now, I know Dana, he's been the front runner of the whole MMA world ever since he started his, the UFC, and then with other people. For me, I look at the guy in One Fighting Championship, the guy that owns that. He has done an extreme job with that one, right? Because that it's just not MMA. It's also Muay Thai, kickboxing. It's also boxing or Thai boxing, and it's also
they have their individual fights like Bellator,
right.
And I think they have their own individual fighting styles. They don't have to be mixed at all, right? Like you were saying.
So, yeah, because with One Fighting, I know they do multiple fight scenes. They just don't do MMA. So, I mean, that's another thing that gives them a lot of wiggle room, especially for the fighters, because they don't just gotta just train MMA all the time. They can just train that one specific skill set they rock with. Yeah, I mean, because I know Bellator, they were going into the kickboxing round for that one time, for their time being. They did MMA and they did the kickboxing. I don't know if they still do it or not, but if he pushes that more further, I think those guys are going to just be more of the areas that they go to do more of that stuff because it's a little bit more free roam. I mean, if you just sit there and be in a high value place where, okay, everyone's coming for these sports regardless of MMA. They're coming for all version of it. It doesn't matter if it's boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, whatever version, they're coming for it. So if that still shows that the market's still coming for it, then they should splurge on that ASAP, because they don't have to just be that one hit zone every single time. So that's just my opinion.
Well, anything else while you want to go over before we close it out?
I think we touch on everything as far as I know. I mean, it's been we're closing in for 2 hours in the next 5, so it's practically the main thing I can touch on. So.
Yeah, and this is just to make sure it can help out on the algorithm and get it under 2 hours, so we can put the replay for tomorrow or the day after for Mr. Best if he wants to do it on this channel. With that being said, we're about to close it out. Just because I'm closing out in less than 2 hours doesn't mean it's always going to be less than 2 hours. It could be 3 or 4 hour streams.
Yeah,
especially there's more. Especially if there's more people that come through, the better. Like I said, hit the link, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the super chat, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, whatever they got as far as type of donations. Any type of donations are appreciated and grateful, and can give you content. And appreciate y'all for rocking out with us, hitting up Knowledge and Relationships at the QB Network, Intellectual Soapbox, Jay Takashi's channel. Make sure you like and subscribe and share, and leave a comment on his channel as well. Also, Wally Welltop Productions. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the link, leave a comment, hit the Cash App, Super Chat, whatever you got to do to support these channels. Also, want to recommend other ones like Great Pill Podcast, Robbie Privileged, QB. Shout out to QB. Hopefully she's okay. She's doing good and better. Queen Forever 2K, DJ Eddie King, the music producer. Intellectual Soapbox, as always. Thanks for giving us a chance to be on this platform. M3, shout out to you and everything you do as well, what you do behind the scenes and on panels. Lola, the real Miss O'Shawn, the real Serious B, who, man, was taking L's of the day on her panel against the guys. Man, she cannot keep up with the guys. But, other than that, shout out to What We Know Podcast, Black Men Unfiltered Network. Shout out to Combo and Chill with Tommy B. Shout out to Poppy Blanco TV. Shout out to a plethora of Jay Prince for president. All the people that hopefully we can get more to rock out over here on this channel. Also want to make sure we shout out to Primal Studies. He's a very conversations. I think he should be having a live today, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's having a live right now.
Yeah, so Primal Studies, go check him out. Hit the link, like, share, subscribe to his channel. Again, at Primal Studies for the YouTube channel. Who else? Yellow Pill Coffee Company. You got to make sure you get your Yellow Pill Coffee. Got to make sure Truth and Purpose Nexus, TAPN, on his channel. You got to make sure you catch Mandrell, Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shoo Shoo, brother and sister co-op tag team of one of the best in the business. On Black Men Unfiltered on Wednesday, Unapologetic at 8:30 Central Standard Time, 6:30 Pacific Standard, and that would be 9:30, I believe, Eastern Standard Time. And that's a great show to catch. It's a great show to watch. The dynamic is cool. And also Stan Joseph, when he's rocking out with Knowledge and Relationships, that's a dope one as well. Other than that, also the FYE, the File 100 podcast up in Memphis, and also the World Class. I think that's about it, though, man. Mr. Best, if you can please do the honors. And with that being said,